Hey Fix It friends, this is Fix It with Fran, where I talk about all things faith, family, food, and fun. It's going to be our little Sunday sit down today. So, just taking a deep breath because so much has happened, so much has been going on, and I went back and forth about this. I didn't know if I wanted to talk about it. I didn't know if I wanted to vlog it. My eye is twitching now. I feel like that's how stressed I've been some days. So, I told y'all before that back in January, I had pneumonia. If you're new to the channel, hi, my name is Fran. Fix It with Fran is a channel that I started really from my blog and website, fixitwithfran.com. I started off just kind of doing life stuff, wife stuff, newlywed stuff, all that kind of thing. Not really a traditional blogger in the sense of I don't tell these long stories and try to sell you a product at the end. I'm not trying to bank off of my website. It was just kind of an outlet for me. Something that I started because I'd always been kind of pushed and urged and encouraged to do so. I have family and friends that always tell me, you have so much useful information. There's so many people out here who are just trying to push things and sell things and don't know half of what they're talking about. But you have information that other people really could benefit from. Share it, share it. And so that's been on my heart for forever. Right now, this is a video that I call my Sunday sit downs. One, it's a way to check in with y'all, which I haven't been doing. So I apologize for my Fix It friends that have been around for a while. And two, because so much has been going on. If you've been on the channel, you know, usually I have very clear skin, no makeup. I got a pimple here. I had something else happen up here. Got a scar on my forehead where I got knocked with some Mardi Gras beads. So all of those are stories that will be coming to y'all. In this video, I am going to just go ahead and stitch in those giveaway winners that y'all been owed some Lowe's gift cards for a while. But I apologize because life happened. I ended up with pneumonia. I got exposed to COVID. I am here and I'm yet holding on. Even in this week. On my channel, if you don't know me, I am a wife. I am a mom of a 2-year-old. I am very active in my community. I work a job. I work another job. I work another job. Might work I don't know. Hustling is in my blood. That's a whole nother story that will come later when I feel ready to tell it. So I'm a hard worker. People have described me as being driven, as being extra confident, as being whatever. But this channel is for folk like me, moms, individuals, persons who, if anything else, if I don't do anything else in this world, I just want to help somebody. And sometimes that's one thing. So when I talk about Fix It with Fran, I truly believe God has given us all gifts and talents that can fix some problem that exists in the world. Does that mean we can fix everything? No. Does that mean we're all going to get it all done in one day? No. Sometimes it's just one thing. But I believe we all have something that we can find and fix. And sometimes that's what you stumble upon. Sometimes that's what you're dealing with. I laughed when I sat down to do this because I went back and forth about it because there is still a lot that's going on real mom girl-ish and in my life in general. I had an aunt that passed yesterday. I am in New Orleans. I live in New Orleans East where the tornadoes hit. That was very heavy for me because I was also a resident of New Orleans East in 2017 when those tornadoes hit. And I was at home working from home. And I remember it happening. I remember my phone going off. I remember texting my husband they say it's out at the lakefront. They say now it's in Michoud. That means it crossed over me. Are these two different cells? I had actually gone outside in 2017 to move my car. Because if you know me from my Mississippi days, my car, I'll put in some screenshots of this, was out at my job, was not in a parking garage, and my front and back windshield were destroyed by hail from, I think what we later found out was a tornado that had happened in Jackson, Mississippi. So I had a car that was my Pontiac Grand Am that I loved. That was my baby. And it was outside and I was like, oh no, we're not doing this again. So since my husband was at work, I'm like, let me go put it in I didn't drive the car anymore at that point. I had moved on to my Cadillac. But I was like, let me go move this car into the garage because I'd be dang if these windows get busted out again. So fast forward to 2017, and I was a nerd as a kid. I've said this before on the channel, but if you're new here, just let you know. I read all the books about Tornado Alley. Why? I don't know. I used to watch all the shows on TLC when it really was the Learning Channel and knew signs of tornadoes, knew 2017, for example, When I went to move my car outside, the hail hadn't dropped yet. And when I went outside, I remember it was really warm. And then when I went back inside, sitting in my office, I looked out the window. My desk faced our front yard window. The entire yard was white and covered with hail. And then in a blink, like it melted, and I said, oh no, like those are crossing fronts. That went from cold to hot. Like this is a problem. When I went outside to move my car, I could see the clouds. I could see, I guess, is it called the cell wall? The cloud wall. Like I could see it. And then I ran inside and I went to the bathroom and I got in my bathtub. That was the first time in my life. And being from North Carolina, tornadoes come through, storms are bad. I had never gotten into a bathtub. Like I remember I was working for Humana at that time, and I put a message in our little group chat, and I was like, y'all, my phone's going off. They're saying it's tornadoes. I'm logging off. And that was kind of a thing because everything with them was like metrics, and it was like you had to key into this and key into that. And I was like, I don't know what code I'm supposed to push for an emergency, but I'm getting off this computer. And I lived on Crowder Boulevard, and I lived on the opposite side of where they hit, but it's like I heard it. I heard the storm. I heard it like raging, and then it got eerily quiet. And then I remember one of the first things I heard, like I was just laying there like, okay, what's going on? What happened? Were sirens. Like I heard the ambulance going off. But it was like for it to go from like a raging thunderstorm and you're hearing wind and rain and noise to silence, especially in the urban city, I was spooked. And then I got out and then found out how close it was to me. This time, this tornado was within 2 miles of us. If I look at like Google Maps, right? I may put in some screenshots if I'm feeling like doing my fancy editing, like I call it. I'm not a professional editor, but I just try to figure out how to do some different things. So y'all, if you watch this channel and continue to stick with me, will learn and see me grow and progress. I did a series of vlogs back in December to show y'all, like back in the day, I've come a mighty long way because back in the day, these videos were rougher than this. So to catch up to speed for what's happened for me in this first, quarter of the year, since now we're in March. January was rough, had pneumonia, walking pneumonia, x-rays, all that kind of stuff. The doctor was concerned. So I dealt with that for about a month going into February. Finally felt better, got out and about in life. Took Monica to her first Mardi Gras parade. Oh, maybe fancy editing, stitching some stuff. That Monday, Monica was fine, went to school. That Tuesday was Fat Tuesday. She was home. Monday afternoon, we picked her up from daycare. I went with my husband. We picked her up. She said, my tummy hurts. And we said, okay. So just keeping an eye on her, trying to check on her. And Tuesday, I noticed that she was sluggish, like her eyes were dark. And I was like, and she had a runny nose. And I said, oh, this may just be allergies. Let's get her back on taking her routine or whatever. And Tuesday night, I noticed a rash on her neck. Some small bumps, almost looked like a heat rash. Wednesday morning, we had already kind of looked at it overnight. She was not feeling well. She felt kind of flushed to me, a little warm, like on her back. Went to the doctor. Doctors thought she had scarlet fever at first. Gave us a prescription. Woo, woo, woo. Life went on. Unfortunately, the pharmacy that we normally go to could not fill one of her prescriptions, which ended up playing into a series of events that when we went back to the doctor on Thursday, the doctor sent her to the hospital. And she was then diagnosed with skin scalding syndrome, which I had never heard of in my life. And they said we have to keep her and she needs to be admitted and needs IV antibiotics. So that was the first half of this month. She was in the hospital for less than a week, but then she had to stay home the following week because with the skin scalded syndrome, all of her skin eventually came off. And it creates this rash, and then the rash turns into blisters, and then blisters turn into crusted skin, and then the crusted skin peels off. And it's about as bad as it sounds, even in the description. And then that following Monday, I think, yeah, after we come home, or the day that we came home, one of my good friends in New Orleans told me that her father was transitioning. And as I've told y'all, at least on the channel, but if you're new here, I am very empathic. I'm very sensitive. My parents, my mom and dad always called me their sensitive one. And I don't take death lightly. I don't take someone sharing what's going on with me in their life lightly. And good, bad, and different. When somebody tells me something is going on or asks me to pray, like that's something where I almost take it on as if it were me. I literally often, whether I choose to or not, end up feeling as if I'm in that person's shoes, and how would I be feeling if this was happened to me? And yeah, I say all the time, if you ask me to pray for you or for someone, I pray as if it were my mom or my dad or my friend or my loved one, family member, close friend, whatever the case may be. So that was heavy on my heart. And then I think the next day, or within a series of days, one of my other friends here in New Orleans let me know that her mom was transitioning. And then the tornado happened. And then, what was that? That was Wednesday. And then Thursday. And then Wednesday happened. At this point, Monica's okay. She's calmed down. She's sleeping. She slept through the night. So Wednesday night, we all slept through the night. Tornado happened Tuesday. Thursday morning, I wake up and my dad tells me that my aunt is transitioning. It's now the weekend. My aunt has passed. So when I say this week has been heavy, this month has been heavy, this quarter has been heavy, and I've tried to push through and record videos and still put up things that I've edited. But it's been hard, y'all. It's been hard. Didn't plan on crying in this video, but y'all get the real. If nothing else on this channel, I try to keep it real. And I share this with y'all, one, because I'm big on accountability and I'm big on keeping to my word. So every week it's always been something else and something else and something else. And it's like I had these goals and these things that I wanted to do, but I'm a real person. So some of that has meant that y'all have gotten videos that have been out of order, kind of here and kind of there. And instead of me being able to mix up my content like I wanted to do, it's kind of been like, let me pause for the cause. Okay, so had to regroup there, because what has happened in the case of all this, in the course of all this, has made me realize that I've been processing a lot of things now, like, okay, I just got to get through this and I got to get to the next thing. And for my folks that have been with me on the pregnancy loss journey that I haven't talked as much about, but y'all, I have things recorded that I just need to edit and get up. So stay with me. If you're my Costco crew, y'all don't know how many hauls that I put together and started editing, and then life happened. Like at first I was going to try to do like my weekly rundown of hauls. And I did my first one in January, and I even like edited, and it was all like Mardi Gras themed, and I thought it was cute. And then I got pneumonia. So it never got posted, but I told myself, I was looking through like my chart of things and my little drafts, and I said, I'm going to publish them. I'm going to put it out there. One, so y'all can see, yes, I was thinking about y'all and I was working on it. And two, because I mean, I guess still retrospective, you can see stuff I got, flashback kind of stuff. But I lost my train of thought. It's just been so much going on, and I pause and I move from one thing and I just try to keep it pushing. But grief is still a part of my life. And like, there's the grief of the pregnancy losses. There's the grief of why is so much going on. There's the frustration of why is all this coming my way. Like, okay, God, like, what's up? Am I being punked? Like, someone, one of my sister's friends posted something that I saw on social media that was like, all right, God, like, I'm not one of your soldiers. Like, I'm not strong. Like, cut it. Like, can we stop? I'm not this strong. Like, I'm not strong enough for all this. It's how I feel. And I guess I'm sharing this because, again, transparency, as I've already said, but two, now it's in my heart because I feel like it's not just me. And a lot of what I've done on this channel and what I talk about on this channel that I tell y'all often is that if God puts something on my heart and I realize it's not just me, I have to say it. And if this actually gets posted on Sunday, then again, that was God, because I wouldn't say it. Maybe this is my Friday feelings, because this is actually Friday that I'm recording this. So maybe I'll just be on a whim and do some quick editing and post this before. Nah, it's almost midnight now, so that probably gonna happen. But let's see if I can say this out loud. All of this kind of tied back to grief and processing grief for me, because I realized when this tornado was happening, and my husband and I were watching the news, getting the alerts on our phone, there was that moment where, of course, I love some Margaret Orr. If I haven't mentioned that before, like I'm a Margaret Orr fan. Again, my grandma's name was Margaret. Both of my grandmothers' names were Margaret. But my mama's name is Margaret. So I was like, she official. Blow the whistle. Before anything else was actually seen. Because I haven't lived in New Orleans as long as other folk. And I know there's a male meteorologist that everybody like swore by. I don't know him. I know Margaret. Keeping it real. So, and that's also the news channel that I prefer to watch. Whole nother story for a whole nother day. I will say, on the topic of Margaret's and my grandma, who y'all know I love to talk about, I grew up watching the news with my grandmother, in addition to being like a science nerd and a weather nerd. And even when my husband and I were like dating and got married, he's like, I get up in the morning, I turn on the news. One, it was always helpful for me as a kid because that way I heard, and pause for the call. All right, my nose was trying to run and I didn't want to do it on camera today. It was helpful for me to listen to the news because I would hear them make the announcements. In North Carolina, News Channel 11 was my favorite, the ABC affiliate. And they would always say, like, on the hour, like, oh, it's so many minutes to the hour. That helped me keep my time to get ready for school, and I really liked that. So even in college, like, I always watched the news, again, because it helped me know, like, okay, I got this much time, I need to be out the door. Because that was before, like, cell phones with multiple alarms and that kind of thing. Like, we were still kind of old school at that point, especially when I was in elementary and high school. But we were watching Margaret Orr, we saw, and at the point where the two, like, it was like a main funnel, but then it looked like a little side funnel. Like, we literally grabbed Monica, had gotten her dressed, because we had just finished, or my husband had just finished giving her her bath. And I was like, Brandon, we got to get in the bathroom. Like, we got to, like, this. If she says we have 4 minutes, 6 minutes, like, that's all we have. Like, this is really coming our way. And when we went to the bathroom, there's an interior, like, water closet and then the regular main bathroom. The wind was pushing so hard on the window that water was coming in. Not, like, gushing in, but I remember looking at the window and being like, what is this? Because of all the storms we've had, it's never done that. Even with the hurricane, we weren't here for all of that, but the window seemed like it was fine. So that freaked me out a little bit. But I'm trying to stay calm because, again, I'm a mom, so I can't freak out with my little one over here. And because I am like a Girl Scout, my power cell, I'll have to put in a picture of that because I've mentioned this power cell a lot. I travel with this power cell. When I go on my Carnival cruises, I take it with me. One side is solar, so it charges itself, which is great for my cruise folks when you're out on an excursion because the power cell, like, literally you can be out on the beach and charge your phone, but also, like, let it recharge itself. It's so cool. But Monica was being distracted with that, and this all ties back into grief or trauma or PTSD at this point. I don't know. I will be talking to a therapist counselor because I was already supposed to be doing that just from the pregnancy loss. And then COVID happened. Couldn't get scheduled and all that. But I say that because we were in the closet, in the water closet, and I literally had this moment of, I already had one tornado miss me. Like, is this really about to happen? Is this really how this is about to go down? And knowing, oh, I didn't mention, when we went to the bathroom, power went out. Our power never goes out where we live. Like, our power lines are underground. So then that kind of freaked me out. So we're sitting in the closet with the flashlight. And I have a picture. And I was trying to, like, stay calm myself and keep Monica calm. So it was kind of like a picture where we were laughing. But I sent that to my mom. And I said, God forbid if anything happens, I just want you to know we love you, because I really didn't know. And in that moment, I felt like that could be it. And I've had lots of close calls and things in my life. I've had lots of, I can't say lots of, just like moments where you don't know, or maybe like, you know, you've been on a plane and everything starts to drop. And in that moment, I was like, do I send this? Do I say this? And my heart was like, if I don't say it, that to me would be the worst opportunity. If I don't say it and something happens and I didn't have to use that opportunity to send like a message and at least say I love you, like, then what? Like, I wouldn't have had a chance. So I sent it. And that took me back to like the 2017 tornado. That took me back through everything that's already happened this month and this year, because it's been a lot. But when you're like, go, 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 and you're trying to survive and you're trying to like not be overwhelmed and not just like succumb to the weight of everything, it just piles on you. And that's kind of where I am now. So I laughed when I sat down because I was just like straightening this room and doing different things. And I'm like, oh, I've been watching, what is it? The Real World. I don't know if it was a reunion or a recap. And I was like, oh, it almost looks like I have like a confessional set up, which is funny because one, I used to always want to go on Real World when I was younger. Two, a random about me that not many people know. Pause.
Sorry, y'all. So this is about to come to an abrupt kind of halt because I ended up having to split this video into 2 parts because it was over 45 minutes and my editor did not want to let me get this posted. So come back for the next part. Again, I apologize for the abrupt ending, but check in next week for part 2. You'll get to hear the rest of my updates as well as the giveaway winners and find out what's coming next on the channel. So I hope you tune back in, stay subscribed, and that should be posted next Sunday for part 2 of this Sunday sit down. Thanks for watching, y'all.